Australian made and owned, Hi-Tech Oils is one of the largest oil blenders in Australia with a truly national profile, supplying an extensive range of oils, coolant, grease, batteries and much more for all businesses and consumer needs. Choose Hi-Tech Oils for peace of mind.
The race, out of the car. All bottles and lots would be like you. Third to win the first race of season 6. Porsche and Mercedes on the podium in their first race in ABB FIA Formula E, the most competitive motorsport championship in the world.
We are about to go green at round 2 of the FIA ABB Formula E Championship in Saudi Arabia. Fans have been treated to entertainment both on and off the track at the Diriyah E-Prix, with the action continuing well into the night. This UNESCO World Heritage Site has already hosted one classic race, and here's how it unfolded.
Mercedes-Benz EQ were quick out of their blocks in their first competitive outing in ABB Formula E, with Stoffel Vandoorne qualifying second and Nick de Vries third. But it was BMW I Andretti driver Alex Sims that was on pole.
We go green in Diriyah. Very quick lights out, and it's a good start from Vandoorne, but Sims comes over, covers the inside line.
Envision Virgin Racing Sam Bird was a man on a mission.
D'Ambrosio covers the inside. Bird should be able to get around on the outside.
Don't get frustrated, just keep him under pressure.
Bird is in attack mode, Mortara is not. The British driver looks to the inside and moves up into 4th position then. Here's Bird, round the outside of Nick de Vries. Bird goes through into 3rd position.
Sims held the lead, but both Bird and Vandoorne had other ideas.
And is Vandoorne going to use his fan boost here? Vandoorne covers the inside. Bird gets the inside though. Vandoorne's late on the brakes and he's going up the inside of Sims. They make contact and Bird is through. No, not quite. But Vandoorne is in the lead now.
Nice and smooth, mate.
Defending 2-time champion Jean-Eric Vergne and his DS Techeetah retired from the race with a steering column issue. Porsche's André Lotterer sensed an opportunity when Sims entered the activation zone.
Sims activates his second attack mode and drops behind André Lotterer.
Same energy that's red and Vandoorne, same energy.
Bird was hungry for the first victory of the season and hunted down Vandoorne, whose team had a tough call to make.
Vandoorne still has to use his attack mode.
No attack mode, we abort.
Abort attack mode is the message to Vandoorne. Bird's going for it anyway. Up the inside into the chicane. Bird's into the lead of the race in Diriyah. Whoa! Thought Lotterer was going for it into the left-hander there.
Attack mode again proved to be a deciding factor.
There, through into attack mode goes Stoffel Vandoorne. He lost out to Lotterer, so he had lost the place.
After a late safety car following Daniel Abb's crash in his Audi, Bird held on and flew to victory, claiming his 9th win in Formula E on the 5th anniversary of his first ever win.
So it's Bird to win the first race of season 6.
Yes, boys! Go Bird!
An amazing day for the Brits and Envision Virgin team, but a strong start from newcomers Porsche and Mercedes shows that Bird will have his work cut out in race 2.
Plenty more drama on the menu for round 2 at the Saudi Diriyah E-Prix, and here's where the battle will take place.
The Diriyah Street Circuit is 2.49 kilometres and 21 turns, with the attack mode activation zone on the outside of turn 19. A 90-degree right takes you past the pit lane before a series of corners lead you downhill through the UNESCO World Heritage Site, where it's corner after corner. Back uphill to the start line. It's a technical track with plenty of challenges along the way.
Time now to head down to the grid for round 2 and more misery for DS Techeetah as Jean-Eric Vergne will start at the back of the grid after a 20-place grid penalty for a battery change.
Good point.
Season 2 champion Sebastian Buemi bounced back after power failure in race 1, qualifying on the front row this time around. While incredible, Alex Sims had done it again, your pole sitter for a record 3 races in a row, stretching back to the final round of last season. And here's how the top 10 shape up. We'll start on row 5, 2 Germans, Andre Lotterer and Max Günther. Row 4 sees the Swiss Edoardo Mortara alongside the Brit Sam Bird. Row 3 sees Jaguars Mitch Evans alongside Antonio Felix da Costa with his team DS Techeetah. Row 2, Jerome D'Ambrosio alongside another veteran, Lucas de Grassi for Audi, Abt Scheffler. And finally, row 1, Sebastian Buemi for Nissan alongside the Brit Alexander Sims for BMW I Andretti. Time now to head down to your race commentary team of Dario Franchitti and Jack Nichols.
45 minutes plus 1 lap the race length. They have 2 attack mode activations to use where they get a power boost of extra 35 kilowatts compared to race mode. They'll have 2 lots of 4 minutes to use that in that you have to use. Hashtag Diriyah E-Prix. As for the 3rd race in a row, Alexander Sims is going to start on pole position, but yet to win a race, the British driver. Alongside him on the front row is Sebastian Buemi, and then there's a gap on row 2. De Grassi is on the right, but the empty space left by Jerome D'Ambrosio is on the left. The 2-time champion starts last. The championship leader, Sam Bird, starts 7th. As we get ready for the 2nd race of the season. All 5 lights are on. And we go green in Diriyah. Good start from the pole man, Alexander Sims. And it looks as though De Grassi is going to get up alongside the Nissan into turn 1. Not quite. Through goes Da Costa, ahead of Evans. And then Sam Bird is in the fight as well, going side by side with Edoardo Mortara. They get in front of Mortara. Bit of a lock-up further back. Through the right-hander of turn 21, and this is the timing line here, and Sims is disappearing. He's got a 1.1 second lead already. Buemi 2nd, De Grassi 3rd, Da Costa 4th, Evans is 5th, Bird is 6th, so no positional changes in the top 6 places, apart from Jerome D'Ambrosio not taking the start, Dario.
Yeah, and at what point are we going to see Jean-Eric Vergne taking that drive-through stop-go penalty? It's a long pit lane, that's going to be a massive penalty. So right at the back, is he going to take it early and then hope for a safety car?
This is the downhill section of track through the right-handers of 8 and 9 there. And this is the right-hander at the bottom of the hill at turn 14.
Sims 1.6 seconds up the road. He is wasting absolutely no time and building himself a cushion. He learned yesterday, I think he used attack mode and lost some places. They were too close behind him. He's going to try, I think, get ahead, then get through the attack mode activation zone.
This is going to be a tougher race on energy management than the race yesterday because the cars are grippy. They're going to be at full throttle for longer over the course of the lap. So as a result, they're going to need to manage their energy a little bit more. Sims 1.8 seconds ahead now as we come into turn 18 and 19, the chicane, the right and the left for the 2nd time.
And the setup of the cars would have to change quite a lot from yesterday simply because of the level of grip that is available today compared to yesterday. All the tiny little adjustments that can be made. The teams this morning were working feverishly to just improve the cars and get them to handle on the higher grip surface that they have.
We're on board with Sam Bird in 6th position, championship leader, race winner yesterday, the only man to have won a race in all 6 seasons of Formula E. Vergne in the pits now. Jean-Eric Vergne, reigning 2-time champion, into the pits to serve his stop-and-go penalty, so he should stay on the lead lap. Here he is, coming into the DS Techeetah pit now. It's a self-employed stop-go penalty.
Yeah, very smart move, Jack, because he was in traffic anyway. The guys in front were holding him up. He can run much quicker than that.
And this is because he had a crash in practice, which meant a battery change, and that leads to a stop-and-go penalty. Well, it leads to a 20-place grid drop. He couldn't drop 20 places, so as a result, he has to serve a penalty too. So he's on the lead lap. Now he'll just drive around, hoping for a safety car, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, his only chance of points today now is a safety car, so there's no point trying to catch the back of the field.
Here, Robin Freight's looking a little bit racy behind Andre Lotterer in their battle over 11th position. The top 10 score points. There is Nick de Vries on the attack, up the inside of Martin Roy, and that was fairly straightforwardly done by Nick de Vries. Nico Muller has dropped to the back of the field now. Started in 22nd, but now he's last of the runners.
And Nico Muller missed the race yesterday, so he'll be looking for just some experience today, start to understand what it takes to to complete a Formula E race. There's so many different things than he would normally experience.
Now Sims has bursted away at the front, 1.6 seconds ahead of Buemi, but hasn't used more usable energy than the drivers around him. You can see there on the left-hand side, if that hits 0, then you're out of energy, basically, and that will be the end of your race. So they're all on fairly similar levels at the moment, but that's where the energy management is going to be critical.
And in the first year, they sort of talked about coming in at the end of the race with 2 or 3%. Now they talk about 0.2, 0.3% is so much more accurate. I expect a more aggressive race out of Alexander Sims today. I think there was maybe some words from the bosses last night today about just being a bit more aggressive towards the end, not giving up the places quite as easily as maybe he did yesterday.
Fan boost is still open as well, where the 5 drivers with the most votes will get a power boost in the second half of the race. So we'll see how that plays out later on, with 41 minutes plus a lap to go.
We saw this yesterday. The first sort of 10-15 minutes were a bit tame, and it all went slightly crazy after that, as it tends to do.
An attack mode activation zone is now open. So 2 lots of 4 minutes, taking you from 200 kilowatts of power up to 235 kilowatts of power. And we are going with the heads-up display on board with Sam Bird. You see him regenerating energy. On the right-hand side, the green arrow pointing down as he comes down the hill. Listen to that. He's off the throttle, off the throttle, off the throttle. Little bit of a burst here, but basically rolling down the hill so as not to waste energy.
He's not wasting, but not much regeneration, because when you regenerate, it actually slows the car down. That's what they used to brake the brake on the rear axle, so it didn't need to regenerate so much, and he didn't want to overslow the car. He's looking like he's setting up to try and overtake the Jaguar in front, but I just lost a bit on the throttle.
Yeah, it's Mitch Evans in front in 5th position in the phosphor blue Jaguar. That's the official
I was going to say, is that the official colour?
Yeah.
A lock-up from Antonio Felix da Costa in the gold and black DS Techeetah.
Gold and black is the official colour as well. I did check that. There is the attack mode information. Must be used twice during the race. And it's a 35 kilowatt power boost, a 17% increase, which is a lot of extra power for 4 minutes. Neil Jarni has got past Brendan Hartley and up into 19th place. Lucas Di Grassi has set the fastest lap of the race. And we are on board with Brendan Hartley, having had Jarni get through. It sounds like Hartley ran wide at 18. You can see the New Zealand flag on top of, or the New Zealand Islands on top of Brendan Hartley's helmet, the man from Palmerston North.
Brendan Hartley, World Endurance Champion, Le Mans winner, but this is all new to him. This is so different from the style of racing that he's done before. It's a very, very steep learning curve, and you've got guys in the championship like Lucas Di Grassi has done 60 races now?
Yeah, this is the 60th Formula E race
in Formula E. It's a lot of learning to do quickly.
So this is what happened to Hartley, on board with him at the chicane.
Yeah, you saw the puff of smoke quite well to keep it out of the wall. Puff of smoke from both front tyres. That was a big lockup. Very bumpy. Watch the cars bobbing as they come up into that braking zone of turn 18.
Alexander Sims is leading this E-Prix by 2.1 seconds. Really big advantage over Sebastian Buemi in 2nd place. That's attack mode activation on the left. No one using it at the moment. And he sets the fastest lap of the race. Again does Alexander Sims. He's looking strong, but he looked strong yesterday and it fell away.
Yeah, he's got to be strong at the end of the race.
Da Costa now sets the fastest lap of the race. We're on board again with Brendan Hartley, battling with Neil Jarni as he comes over the line. Little lift down into the first corner, and Martin Khoa is right behind in the Neo 333.
I have to say, Martin is doing a good job.
Yeah.
He's really sort of struggled yesterday mightily, but he's done a much better job today.
Dropping down the hill.
Nick de Vries up to 18th. Good progress in the Mercedes EQ.
That's really good progress, actually. He's a little bit behind James Collado, who is a bit behind James Turvey, who's a bit behind Roland.
Collado's made good progress up to 17th as well.
Sims leading, and then we've got Buemi 2nd, Di Grassi 3rd, Da Costa 4th. 5th is Mitch Evans in the Jaguar. Then behind them is the purple Envision Virgin racing car of Sam Bird. There goes Da Costa up the inside of Di Grassi. Di Grassi locks up, goes in deep, might lose out to Evans here as well. No, he just about rescued it. But Antonio Felix da Costa passed Di Grassi at turn 18 and up into 3rd place, and now Di Grassi's covering the inside from Evans. Robin Fries is trying to take advantage of all of it.
If I'm Mitch Evans, I'm going to keep the pressure on Di Grassi. He's got dirt on his tyres. He doesn't have the grip that he had 3 or 4 corners ago. Keep that pressure on him, force him into a mistake.
On board we are with Mitch Evans. Two New Zealanders in the field. Evans from Auckland. Right up behind De Grassi as they come down the hill. How quickly will Da Costa sprint away? Buemi on that last lap set the fastest lap of the race, a 10th quicker than Alexander Sims out in front. Look how close to the walls they get on this really treacherous street circuit. One mistake and they're having a big accident.
Absolutely. The closer you can get to the walls at the apex, the more grip you're going to have. The problem is if you misjudge it and just bounce it a little bit, you tend to end up in the outside wall. So high risk, high reward, no margin for error at all, as you can see.
If yesterday was a story of the newcomers to the championship in terms of Mercedes-Benz and Porsche, today is very much a story of the old guard. Andretti, Edams, Techeetah, Audi, and through goes, and Division Virgin Racing, through goes Alexander Sims to activate his attack mode, and he held the lead ahead of Sebastian Buemi. Daniel Abt is under investigation for throttle map. Now, throttle map may sound like an odd one, but basically last year, teams were effectively, there goes Bird on Evans. So Evans was trying to get past De Grassi, and Sam Bird has just smoked one up the inside of Mitch Evans to take 5th place.
Now, if you're Lucas De Grassi, you look in the mirror now and you see Sam Bird and you just think, oh no, because Sam Bird is one of those drivers that can just blast and overtake and maneuver for a seemingly impossible distance back.
Just to finish my story about throttle maps, last year teams were using throttle maps to effectively eradicate or effectively do it like it's traction control, which is not allowed. So we saw a few investigations yesterday for throttle map, which turned into penalties, and that is the same again today. So Sam Bird in 5th place ahead of Mitch Evans. Sims in attack mode, 1.5 seconds quicker than Sebastian Buemi on that last lap. But that, I really like that driver's eye. That was cool.
I think it shows you a very good approximation of what the driver is dealing with.
Yeah.
I was actually amazed at how much he was looking down at the dashboard, how much Felipe Massa was looking down at the steering wheel when he's making the adjustments as well.
And I think for those of us who aren't racing drivers, Dario, it gives you a sense of how low you are, because you hear people like you chatting all the time, oh, you're so low in the car, you're sitting on the floor. But we don't actually we don't even know what that really feels like. Oh no! Da Costa's hit Buemi and spun him round!
Buemi's going to be careful rejoining.
He's got no chance of rejoining. No, Seb, that's a disaster.
Ah, Seb, that's silly.
And it's ruined his teammate Oliver Rowland's race as well a little bit. He's lost a few places. That is a bad rejoin from Sebastian Buemi, I'm afraid to say. Lock up there from Daniel Abt, but Da Costa up into 2nd surely will be under investigation.
Yeah, what caused the spin? Was he so slow going through that part of the corner that Da Costa had nowhere to go, or did he? How hard was the contact? That's a really tough one to call. I'd love to see that from onboard Sebastian Buemi.
Here we go. Da Costa is just late on the brakes, and
Da Costa overdid it, didn't he?
Was Buemi going for attack mode?
You know what, Jack, that's a very good point. This is just silly. We saw this in F1 this year. It's not smart.
I mean, it is a blind corner, which...
Well, that's what you don't do.
Agreed, but it also means you've got no idea when you can... I think Buemi might have been going for attack mode, potentially.
Jack, I hate to say it, but I think you're right.
Hey!
Oh, great reactions from Felipe Massa.
Yeah. Here's a look at it again. Oh no, this was Rowland going side by side with Abt. Oh, and suddenly there was yellow flags there. So that's why Rowland had to bail out of that one.
Yeah, Rowland's thinking, I got him. Yeah, Buemi didn't expect that. Sims has got 8 seconds left. As you see, his attack mode, 3.2 seconds in the lead. I think tactically this is looking a bit better for the BMW Andretti driver.
Helps if everyone behind him keeps crashing.
This makes things a bit easier. De Vries, Collado, they've both gone through attack mode. Hartley's got 2 minutes left. You see that with the amount of chevrons beside the name.
Getting a lot of criticism for my Scottish accent.
I think it was brilliant, Jack.
Thank you. From a verified Scotsman.
Verified Scotsman, like one that works in the paddock.
Yeah, exactly. That was my Alan McNish impression. So, Sims out in front. He is out of attack mode now. You can see Da Costa has made up 3 places. Bird has made up 3 as well, up into 4th spot. D'Ambrosio, naturally the big loser, and Sebastian Buemi in all of that. And Collado and De Vries are in attack mode now, but there is Da Costa. It's a it's a tricky one, that, because if Buemi was going for attack mode, it's not dissimilar to, was it Robin Freitz and Sebastian Buemi in Paris last year? So, where Buemi cut back to get attack mode, there was a bit of contact and he got a puncture. There's Stoffel Van Dorn.
I was really struggling to tell the silver and black, white and black cars apart. Yeah, it changes things dramatically. Is that Massa going into attack mode? Yeah, it changes things dramatically if he was going for attack mode because it slows the corner so much.
And that's a drive-through penalty for Daniel Abt. His weekend getting worse and worse. 13th at the moment, but it's a drive-through penalty for a throttle map infringement.
Down to mid-stint 135. Mid-stint 135.
Okay, so there's a message to Van Dorn, who's in 8th place at the moment in the Mercedes-Benz EQ. Mercedes-Benz and Porsche joining Formula E this year to create a 24-car grid, the biggest in the series history. Although the smallest was only 18, I suppose, in that period where Trulli left. 30 minutes plus a lap remaining. So, Alexander Sims leading 3.2 seconds ahead of Da Costa. That's Maxi Günther taking attack mode, and he drops behind Stoffel Van Dorn. Robin Freitz uses it as well. He's in 11th place at the moment and a little bit off the back of the pack. And Buemi and Da Costa incident is now under investigation for causing a collision.
That's not surprising, really, is it? But again, they might even have to look at the data to decide what they're going to do with that one.
Confirmation there from race control. 29 minutes left on the clock. Daniel Abt is serving his drive-through penalty now. That's why he's dropping down the order. So Abt into the pits, serves his drive-through penalty, and he is in for a long afternoon. Jean-Eric Verne down in 23rd place still, 50 seconds off the back of the pack. He needs a safety car still, but the later it gets, the less he's going to be able to even do anything, even if there is a safety car.
Yeah, but again, he's got no option. He's not scoring points unless there's a safety car. He had no hope to. They took the best path they could to give him some hope of points if things fell their way. But we saw Sebastian Buemi here.
We need to be close to Van Dorn. We will have 1 more minute than him on attack mode.
As engineers speak for him, hurry up. Yeah, Da Costa takes attack mode now, loses a place to Di Grassi.
Okay, so Di Grassi up into 2nd place, but still with an attack mode to take, and only just into 2nd place, and Da Costa is going to be in attack mode. So May, fancy a look, he does. Di Grassi squeezes him, Da Costa forces his way through. Bird's there to take advantage, is he? Yeah. No, and Evans is going to take advantage of that. No, not quite. Bird holding on, contact. Bird brushes the wall, keeps going, has another hit at the wall. I think he might still be in the race.
If he is, he's lost a lot of spots. Jack down to 8th already.
The yellow flag is out, and then I think Evans might be broken as well. Mitch Evans has trouble too. Yellow flag deployed, and the car is broken. Sam Bird, his car is broken. The championship leader is out of the race, out of the 2nd race of the season, and what a transition of emotion from yesterday for Sylvain Filippi, the managing director, and for Sam Bird himself and the Envision Virgin Racing team. And that plays into Jean-Eric Verne's hands with the safety car. Robin Freitz is side by side. There's damage to a Mahindra out there, and soon they'll all have to slow down. Mitch Evans surely will pit. It looks like he's got some damage. D'Ambrosio got involved in the shenanigans too.
Verlaine's got to come in. Verlaine's got to come in, I think, Jack.
Oh, sorry, Verlaine, not D'Ambrosio.
With that amount of damage. Yeah,
he doesn't. Stays out.
Wow.
He's trying to whack it on the wall to get it off.
Mitch Evans in the pit lane. He's trying to immediately fix his damage.
Let's look at this all unfold, Dario.
Now you see Di Grassi being a bit defensive, Da Costa having none of it. That was a fantastic move from Da Costa. Sam Bird thinks I'll have some of that, but as he's done that, you can see Mitch Evans in the Jaguar just, I'm not sure.
That's a tough one, isn't it?
It really is. I mean,
I think I'm going racing incident there, to be honest.
To do that. Oh, and then he gets hit.
That's what finished Bird off there.
Terminal. That's just, I mean, why would you just continue to drive him into the wall? Yeah, you see there's already one piece of contact, and then they start The wall actually comes out in the corner now. I hate to go, it's a racing incident because it's a cop-out, but it's a racing incident.
No. That, well, we'll be on board here with Bird, but here's Wehrlein's radio. No, we're not hearing it, but Bird then
Great
sees the chance.
from Bird there, but just not enough, so he gets back. But now, does he know that Mitch Evans is actually there? So he's almost recovered it. Look, he's got it. He's had to slow down because he's got so much dirt on his tyres, and then he gets sent into the wall. I mean, Wehrlein's as guilty as anybody there.
Yeah. He was really slowing down though, so I wonder if he already had a problem, Bird, because he was trying to move to the left to get out of the way.
Was he though?
I feel like he was.
From that picture, it almost looks like the left rear was towing in a bit, like he'd already damaged. I don't know.
To me, it felt like Bird was trying to get out of the way, and that's why he was spun so dramatically to the left.
Well, the problem is he couldn't go through the corner in quicker, Jack, because he approached on a tighter line and dusty track. So.
Agreed. So safety car deployed. Sims' advantage that he's built up is now eradicated.
To the race director.
Yeah, FM has been done.
Okay, that was Wehrlein's radio, but here are the Fan Boost winners. Sebastian Buemi joining Antonio Felix da Costa in winning the Fan Boost. Nick de Vries winning it as well. And Stoffel Van Dorn.
Surprise.
So that means
every time Stoffel's won it.
Van Dorn, de Vries, Buemi, da Costa and Lotterer, the winners of the Fan Boost. That's a power boost that they can use in the second half of the race once we're 22 minutes in. There you can see confirmation on the left-hand side. They can go up to 250 kilowatts of power for a short period of time. On your point,
yes,
racing incident isn't a cop-out.
No,
you don't have to blame everyone for everything. Not everyone has to be, but sometimes...
It's a very fair point.
If you want wheel-to-wheel racing, sometimes people are going to crash.
Yeah, exactly right.
Da Costa into the back of Buemi, Da Costa's fault, to be fair, I would say.
Well,
potentially.
not if he's taken attack mode.
Yeah,
if he
maybe.
Was gonna take, oh, this is the view I wanted to see. Mitch Evans. Look, Mitch goes...
Sees the gap.
Sees a gap, yeah, quite rightly. Sees a gap. You know what? The track narrowing down didn't help Mitch's position, and Sam Bird couldn't do anything else
because otherwise he's on the dirt, he's in the wall.
He's crashing anyway. So yeah, racing incident.
Yeah, absolutely. 22 minutes plus 1 lap to go. Also worth noting, Buemi was under investigation for an unsafe rejoin, but he's down in 12th place, so it's not hugely relevant.
Just Lucas Di Grassi, 3rd place, has not taken an attack mode yet. So he's up against it. So they've got to have to figure out something a little bit clever in the last 22 minutes plus a lap of this race.
The top 4 all have the same usable energy remaining. Stoffel Van Dorn is up into 4th place in all of this.
Now, if he really slows it down here, there's another part of this track. He can take the attack mode as long as the safety car has passed the safety car line. All the cars can take the attack mode as they approach the green flag.
Do you think Sims wants to use his last attack mode?
Well, it gets rid of that sort of joker, I guess, that makes it consistent.
So we are about to go racing again with Alexander Sims. When's he going to floor it? There he goes. Does he go through the attack mode activation zone?
He does.
He does. And Da Costa overtakes him, then gets on the brakes. Da Costa might be
from Sims.
Da Costa might be in trouble for that as well, you know. And people are overtaking behind the safety car. There's debris going onto the circuit. That's from Maxi Gunter. Someone going straight on in the background there, I'm fairly sure. But Sims gets the race back underway. He's in his 2nd attack mode. Da Costa isn't, and that's going to give him a nice gap to the rest of the pack. Meanwhile, Gunter is 3rd. According to the timing screens, that can't be true.
No, it's not true. It's a bit weird.
Sims in the lead, Da Costa 2nd. We'll keep an eye out on it, but Max, there comes Sims. There is Gunter.
Wow.
How?
Yeah, I don't know. He's missing bits of bodywork. He's missing as you can see, he's missing the right front wheel cover, and he went wide, just about brushed the wall. Yeah, no.
Okay, I'm missing something here.
Did he pass under before the green? Did he do what Da Costa backed out of doing?
You stay close to Antonio. Di Grassi 1.1 behind.
Gunter, the only thing I can think of is he just overtook everyone when they all took the attack mode. That's the only thing I can think of, because I think he was in the top 10. Now he takes attack mode and stays ahead of Stoffel Vandoorne in 4th place. That's his bodywork that's off the circuit, but it's quite a way off the racing line, Maxi Günther.
Very interesting to see how the race control deal with all these cars missing bits of bodywork. How much do they want the car being sort of full, a whole race car to continue racing?
So there's a 5 kilowatt energy reduction then for the remainder of the race. So that means they'll still have to be looking after their energy.
I think Sims has played a blinder.
Yeah.
I think he's done a good job there. He's taken away the unknown of what would happen if a safety car comes out and you have not used your attack mode.
So this is the usable energy remaining now after the percentages have dropped. So it's down to 50% for Sims, a little bit more than Da Costa, and Da Costa gets a drive-through penalty for causing a collision. Antonio Felix Da Costa from 2nd place in the race, a drive-through penalty for causing a collision. It's a close one, it was a tough call. I don't think there's too much argument with it.
The problem is there's no protesting a drive-through penalty after the race, and if Buemi was going into the attack mode activation zone, that makes it a sore one. Well, here we go, side by side. Mortara.
Start behind you has a drive-through.
A bit of wheel banging through the kink of 20.
Car behind you has a drive-through is the message, and there goes Mortara up the inside of Andre Lotterer. Da Costa serving his drive-through penalty now, so Da Costa out of 2nd place through the pits, and that is 2 pit lane penalties for DS Techeetah today, after they got 2 last year, which cost them the win of the race. So it's not a happy hunting ground, Diriyah, for DS Techeetah.
Give a shout out to Ma, P12.
Yeah,
that's quite impressive.
And there is Evans, and it's a 10-second time penalty for Sebastian Buemi as well for an unsafe rejoin. So Sims in the lead, De Grassi is 2nd, 3 seconds back. Oh, Freitz! Robin Freitz is in the wall, broken front left, that could be another safety car.
And you can see the lock-up marks all the way in. He just got offline, but I'm sure we'll soon find out. A tough day for Envision Virgin.
After the joy of yesterday and going to the top of the team's championship, they've had 2 retirements in the race today. Here comes Oliver Rowland up the inside of Felipe Massa, not quite close enough. They're battling over 7th place. Stoffel Vandoorne activates his attack mode now in 4th spot, and another safety car deployment in the Diriyah E-Prix. So the cars will follow the safety car at reduced speed. And there we go. Sims, his advantage is eradicated again for those already in. Here's what happened to Robin Freitz. Oh, he's lost it, coming through 8.
Unusual place to lose the back end of the car.
Oh, in he goes.
So De Grassi now is a bit of a sitting duck because he's used only 1 attack mode.
Well, or is he in a great position? Because he can activate it.
No, he will not. He can't activate it.
It depends on Sims.
Sims is going to go this time.
Yeah, that's true.
And then he can't activate it.
Let's refresh. Alexander Sims is leading the race in the BMW I Andretti. Here's a look at the safety car reset. Now watch out for Maxi Günther, because he's nowhere to be seen. He's 5th in the pack, the 2nd blue and white car, and he just drives past them behind the safety car. That's not okay, Maxi Günther. You can't overtake before the start line. So Günther is in big trouble, and someone else doing it there. I think that's Nick de Vries.
Yeah.
Also Da Costa, if he wasn't already penalised, might be in a bit of trouble, because he did go ahead of Sims, even though he gave the place back.
This was great from Sims.
Watch Günther in 28. Well, we see everyone flooring it down into the first corner, but that's why I couldn't figure out how Günther had jumped from 5th upwards. Look, here he comes, arrives in 5th position, and just sends it up the inside of Vandoorne and De Grassi, who is taking attack mode.
I was going to say, at this point he's thinking, I've got them all.
And that is just, he's a young kid, Günther, 22, but that's just not knowing the rules. Right, Evans and Bird under investigation for causing a collision. It would be a shame if that gets a penalty, for my mind, but we'll see. Sims?
He still has some debris inside of braking zone for last corner.
Yeah, I don't know why...
Drivers speak for, can we just make the safety car a bit longer, please? That means I've got less laps to do.
Drive-through penalty for Felipe Massa for a false start. Didn't even see that one, but full credit to the stewards.
False start or restart, do we think?
Maybe from the start of the race, but wait and see.
I tell you what, the stewards are earning their money today.
Well, and anyway, they're quick. Massa was out of position on the race grid. That's what the drive-through penalty was for.
Come on, guys, get the basics right.
Right, see if we can see Massa.
So difficult to tell.
I think he's sort of in the middle. I think he was on the wrong side of the grid. And I think that's why there was a gap in the middle on the far right-hand side as well. Not easy to spot, but I got a little heads up in my ear. I didn't just spot that out of nowhere.
So say, Jack, your eyes are better than mine.
Yeah, can you see the gap top right between the Neo and the Mahindra? That's where Massa was meant to be. He lined up on the wrong side of the grid. This is the replay of everybody through the first corner. Very well behaved.
Again.
Yeah. Safety car in this lap.
Right, here we go.
Racing back underway. Alexander Sims weaving around. I think Degrassi's got a better restart, though.
If I'm Degrassi, I'm going to attack mode this lap, right now.
Can he just keep in front? And he goes for it. Will he stay in front of Maxi Gunter? No, he doesn't. Loses out to Stoffel Van Dorn as well.
He's got to immediately do into turn one. He's got to try and get past already, get by Stoffel Van Dorn.
Now they're in the position where they've all used their 2 attack modes, but Degrassi is in it. So this is battle for positions. Still no news on Gunter overtaking those cars behind the safety car. And there's an additional 1 kilowatt energy reduction. So we're on board with Degrassi. It's important he makes these 2 moves in the next 4 minutes.
Absolutely. I mean, he's lost half the track now, the advantage of half the track, because he's still stuck behind Stoffel Van Dorn.
7.5 minutes to go.
He's going to try and judge the distance now as he comes through turn 14. You see 13. He's going to now try and get close, judge the distance to get acceleration out of 16 and 17 to use that extra 35 kilowatts of power up the straight.
Here we go then. Mitch Evans drive-through penalty for causing a collision. Okay, for me that's a harsh one.
Yeah, I think I agree with you.
There's a gap there. You can go to the inside.
Here comes Degrassi though.
Covers the inside to Stoffel Van Dorn. He'll try and hang on, but Degrassi has the extra power.
Oh, he did the run into the back of Gunter. That shows you the difference in speed that attack mode makes.
There is Alan McNish, team principal of Audi Sport App Schaefer. Is that a lock-up from Sims in front? Big puff of smoke. Sims still on the track, though, and in the lead of this race by 2.5 seconds as they come across the line.
BMW 1-2 at the moment. BMW leading in 3/4 with BMW in second.
Here's a look at Degrassi. Van Dorn did his best, but just ran out of top speed at the end. Mitch Evans is serving his drive-through penalty now.
It's a hard one.
For me, that's a bit unnecessary, but here he is, driving through, but we're not the stewards, as I say.
Nope. And it's easy to sort of criticise when somebody has to make a decision, much more difficult to make that decision yourself.
Yeah.
Sims is on it. 2.8 seconds now at this point. He's just trying to get that gap. He's concerned about Degrassi clearing Gunter and chasing him down.
Sims has less usable energy than Gunter, but the same as Degrassi. Van Dorn has the most out of all of them. Can Degrassi get through on Gunter? No, he can't. And he might get one more chance. Roland trying to get past Andre Lotterer for 6th position. Then we got Buemi there in 9th place. The top 10 really spread out.
This is Degrassi's chance now, Jack, out of 21 into 1. He's got to set it up. Didn't get a kick off the corner really enough.
The restart under safety car 1 is under investigation, so that's what we're talking about with regards to Gunter. There's also a mention from Anthony Haig on Twitter saying that he thought he saw Van Dorn get past their line at that point as well. So
there was a lot going on.
There certainly was. 5 minutes left on the clock.
3 seconds now in the lead for Sims.
And this is working out well with his teammate Gunter in 2nd place. Holding up Degrassi, not, intentionally. He's trying to keep it there for his race position.
Doing a good job for himself and the team at this point.
Certainly is. And what more can you ask for Maxi Gunter? Maybe in this position illegally. That's under investigation.
Illegal's a strong word.
Well, against the rules. Here comes Degrassi.
Pack mode ending. Last chance.
Oof.
Last chance is the revantage from Marcus Mickelberger, and that last chance is done.
Well, might get still turn 1, Jack.
Oh, okay, maybe. Or ever the optimist. Covering the inside is Maxi Gunter. He's just going to have enough power for the run down into the first corner. Tries to sell the dummy. Not close enough.
That's not going to happen now.
Gunter saw that one coming.
He's going to have to do it now. It's just a straight overtaking manoeuvre. No advantage.
And these two fighting means Alexander Sims can maintain this gap at the front and still save energy. De Vries is under investigation now for a battery infraction. And that would be a shame for him because he's had a great drive up into 8th place.
This is his second Formula E race.
Yeah.
In the BMW,
yeah.
should I say. So it's all a bit new to him. So he really, what did he do, 3 races last year?
It's his 11th Formula E race overall.
He missed 3 last year, sorry.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is all, he's still learning. The fact he's holding up the rest of the field is not a bad thing for his team.
Sims' radio.
Currently just managing the gap in case of the last-minute safety car.
Yeah, so as Da Costa uses his fan boost, but he's down in 19th place, going ahead of Nico Muller. There it is, and through he goes. Oh, and then side-by-side further back as Jean-Eric Verne gets a bit forceful. Massa around the outside. Ooh, that's a tight one with the Porsche. That's Neil Gianni. And Gianni holds the place, which is 16th position.
They're racing hard for 16th, are they not?
They certainly are. So Sims saying on the radio, I'm just managing this gap in case there's a last-minute safety car. And this is where it will come from if there's going to be one.
Verne up to 15th. So that's pretty good considering he had the stop-and-go penalty and where the... It's quite impressive.
Martin Hua was in the points for a while, but has now dropped down to 13th place. His teammate Oliver Turvey is in 10th place, looking to score the first points of the year for the Neo 333 entry.
That'd be good after a very difficult off-season for the team.
De Grassi's dropping away a bit, isn't he? From Maxis Gunter. Fan boost being used by Buemi, who is attacking Nick De Vries for 8th place, coming into the chicane. No, he's too far away, in fact. He's using it to try and close in as he goes through, but too far away to make a move. Daniel App now battling Oliver Turvey for the final points position.
God, Turvey's going to get his elbows out in this one, isn't he?
He certainly is.
That point.
Here's De Grassi now, who's coming under pressure from the Mercedes-Benz of Stoffel Van Dorn. Van Dorn can see his second podium in as many days. Up in front of him, whoa, Da Costa sent it on Gianni. And then Massa tried to get in as well. And Verne also went past the... Hartley, yeah. Massa under investigation for pit lane over speeding.
Massa's having an action-packed day.
Stoffel Van Dorn closing in on Lucas de Grassi in that battle for 3rd place. Right behind them is Eduardo Mortara, who's having a good run. Andre Lotterer looking for a 2nd points finish for the Porsche team. There's Sebastian Buemi, the man who started 2nd, was spun around by Da Costa and has now recovered up into 9th place. This is going to be starting the penultimate lap of the race for Alexander Sims.
Yeah, de Grassi has definitely fallen off the back of Gunter. See him under some pressure, whether he's just cooling his tyres and ready to go again.
Has got a lot of usable energy remaining, so I wonder if that's why he's under investigation for a battery infraction. Maybe they didn't knock off enough energy or something like that.
Automatically, didn't it?
Yeah, I thought so too. Bearlines past Nico Muller and up to 19th place for what it's worth. But really, it's the battle over the final podium spots in the closing stages. Lotterer. There goes Sims in the lead. There's Maxi Gunter in 2nd place. Sorry, not Maxi. He doesn't like being called Maxi. My apologies.
Doesn't?
No, Max or Maximilian. He was quite firm with that.
Okay, good to know.
And but I keep calling it him. Sims leading. Gunter 2nd. De Grassi 3rd. I'm still very, very tentative to call this a BMW 1-2.
Yeah, I agreed. I'm surprised we haven't seen any messages from the FIA yet. Here's Max Gunter.
And less now. We are good, mate.
Okay, so we are good.
Obviously on board with Andre Lotterer.
It's also a fair point. I suggested Max Gunter might be struggling for pace, and this is his actual pace because he's sort of new to the team, but also he's got a pretty beat-up car, hasn't he? So,
yeah, he damaged the bodywork. Has he damaged the suspension?
1.1 behind. We've got this under control. You're about to start the final lap.
So Gunther starts the final lap. The team seem pretty happy with everything that's unfolded. There is Nick de Vries across the line in 8th position. But Alex Sims is on the final lap of the race. Here comes the Englishman, 3 poles. Is he about to take his first Formula E victory? Is he going to announce himself as a title contender in the BMW? Is he going to win the second race of the season in Diriyah?
Well, he's over halfway through the lap.
There's Maxi Gunther in second place. Is this going to be a BMW I Andretti 1-2, or is Gunther going to be getting a post-race penalty? Because the way...
Lots of things still to happen to
the
play
way
out.
we were told is that you can activate attack mode when the safety car comes in, but you can't be overtaken. That's why Da Costa didn't overtake Sims for the lead of the race. But irrelevant of that, the orders further back may be up for debate. One thing that is not up for debate is Alexander Sims, the 31-year-old from London, in his 14th Formula E race, wins in Diriyah. Alexander Sims victorious for BMW. What a race! What a drive!
Okay, Alex, quali page. Remember, brake integral and pick up rubber. Magnificent drive. You're in our Formula E race winner, mate.
Turvey across the line. He got past Sebastian Buemi in the closing stages. Daniel Abt made it up into 10th place right at the end, but there was pandemonium in the garage. The top 10 going to Sims, Gunther, De Grassi, Van Dorn, Mortara, the top 5, Lotterer, Roland, De Vries, Turvey, Abt, the 10 drivers. What a race. BMW celebrating. I'm still not convinced on that second position, but at the moment, that is the position. Robin Fries has just been given a drive-through penalty for undertaking under safety car. Let's talk to Alex Sims.
Alexander Stario in the booth, congratulations. Fabulous job.
Hello, Dario in the booth. How are you?
I'm not as good as you. That was a pretty cool race.
Seemingly.
Yeah, well done. Fantastic.
Thank you very much. That's a bit more like it. Yesterday was tough. Today we got it right. So yeah, credit to the whole team.
The results after 30 laps of racing. Alexander Sims, the race winner for BMW I Andretti Motorsport. Maxi Gunther in second place across the line. Lucas de Grassi third for Audi Sport at Schaeffler. Fourth place for Stoffel Van Dorn and Eduardo Mortara in fifth, having climbed his way up the order. Lotterer with some more points for Porsche in sixth position. But Alexander Sims, the winner. And there is Sims into first place. Dario, just before you peg it down, I have a question. You can see the emotion for Sims there. His restarts, he destroyed the field on those.
He clearly thought about it last night. He'd learned some stuff, he had a bit of a chat with the team. Each restart he did exactly what he had to do, very different things. Whether it was the safety car, whether he wanted to use attack mode or not, whether it was a full course yellow. But yeah, really, I think that was one of the reasons he won the race today.
He will now go down and give us all the reaction.
Well, Alexander Sims, a huge congratulations. Your first win in Formula E. What a brilliant result and crucial points scored for BMW I Andretti.
Absolutely. That was pretty much a dream race from what I could see anyway. We seemed to execute everything really well, make the right decisions at the right times. Energy consumption was good. It just all went smoothly today.
Well, Max, what a result. Starting from 9th on the grid, did you expect to be on the podium today?
I knew it's going to be an unpredictable race, but I was not expecting a podium, to be honest. Of course, I'm extremely happy to score my first podium in Formula E, first podium for BMW, and I'm just extremely happy that the race went very well. Quite some action going on, but at the end, of course, to have this 1-2 for the team, it's just fantastic. Big congrats to my teammate, to Alex. Did a great job, and just really happy for everybody here with BMW and as well back home in the factory. They did an outstanding job, so thank you for that.
Well, Lucas, you've always been one of the most consistent drivers in Formula E. It must be good to feel back on top.
Yes, today is my 60th race and 31 podiums, so I'm super happy. After a troubled weekend, we started on the back foot, but with this podium today, although it's not the best result possible, we are pretty happy, and the fight for the title is on now.
Here's a look then at the results. And after the win yesterday for Sam Bird and the lead of the standings, it's now Alexander Sims who's at the top. He is 8 points clear of Stoffel Vandoorne. Bird still there or thereabouts in third place. But the win for Sims, he's now top of the championship after 2 rounds of Formula E.
After that breathless action, time to catch up with the all-electric support race.
The second race of the season in the Jaguar I-Pace E-Trophy got underway with Sergio Jimenez on pole, holding off Simon Evans. There was some attacking work from Yachi Zhang, who managed to get past Alice Powell and up into what was third place. Big moment for Rima Jafali, but then the red flag came out after Mario Haberfeld misjudged his move on Al-Ghassabi, and Al-Ghassabi was sent into the wall. And the damage was to the front left of Haberfeld's car. Safety car came into the pits, and the session restarted. The race restarted, I should say, with Jimenez still leading the way, still being chased by Simon Evans. There was some side-by-side action with Rima Jafali. Alice Powell tried to activate attack mode activation but couldn't do it, so Sergio Jimenez comes across the line as the winner of the race, taking the checkered flag.
Back with the Formula E celebrations now, and after 3 consecutive pole positions, Alex Sims finally claims that elusive Formula E win in a lights-to-flag victory that never looked in doubt. BMW I Andretti look a force to be reckoned with again this season. After the podium celebration, Max Gunther received a penalty for his race restart after the safety car, promoting Lucas de Grassi to second and Stoffel Vandoorne to third. That's all from us in Saudi Arabia. We'll be back in Santiago in January for more electric action from Formula E. So from Jack Nicholls, Dario Franchitti, Nicky Shields and myself, Vernon Kay, we'll see you next time.